In this video, I'm going to show you how to use InfuseLearning to do quick assessments and to do quizzes as well. So visit teacher.infuselearning.com, enter your email and your password. If you don't have an account, go ahead and create one. It's free. On the right-hand side here, you can see what this looks like as a student. So the quick assessment is an interesting way of doing student response system. Basically, you don't need to enter a question in there at all. You can just enter the question. You can speak the question, if you will, in your lesson, and then the students will be able to answer it. Now, some very important information here is your room ID. This is what students are going to need. So on the right-hand side, you can see me as a student. I'm going to enter the details that are in here, and I'm going to hit submit. That's going to log me into the room, and it's going to wait for basically activity from me. I'm going to create a true or false question, just a basic true or false question, and click go. Now this is logged me in, as you can see, as a student. Now this knows that a question is going to be asked. I can see which students are logged in, and I can hit summary to see the answers. Now as a student, I'm going to answer true, because the question was, say, the main language spoken in France is French. Hit submit, and I can see as a student, as a teacher, the answers. Obviously, the more students answer, the graph would populate with the student answers. Basically, you can save the results if you want, or you can even look at the details. You can hide the names if you want, so students don't feel so bad. In your main settings, if you go back to your dashboard, in the main preferences, you even have the ability to always hide the names. So you can see a list, but the students' names are actually hidden. Now, there are plenty of different types of questions. None of them are rocket science, okay? But there are a couple that I really, really like. For example, the Likert scale here, which is really nice for the confidence scale. So you can go ahead and say, hey, how are you guys feeling about this? Do you really understand? Are you confident about this particular thing? And then you get your class. You can get a feel for the confidence levels in your class at a particular point for a particular unit or a particular topic. Always go back to the home page to be able to do other things. Another thing that I really like is to draw response. So here, for example, if we stay on the theme of the Nice conference, I could say, go ahead and draw roughly the shape of France. Okay, so you'll get different types of answers. Okay, so this is pretty rubbish. Then get students to save by clicking on this button here that was there. And then as a student, as a teacher, I can see all of the answers. And this is pretty nice. And then if you've got good questions, can actually lead to pretty interesting answers, to pretty interesting discussions, sorry. Now, this is teacher paced. You might want to create quizzes. So the idea of creating a quiz is the same as creating the questions. It's just that you create them in a quiz. Now, the next idea is that you press play on the quiz, and then students answer the quiz at their own pace. Begin quiz. And this is where you've got some killer features in this particular app. You may have noticed that there's an audio button. Now this is great for students who cannot read properly.
Place the following cities in order of population.
So it reads. So this is pretty nice, but it also does even more. It actually translates on the fly, for example. So this has translated the question, which I entered in English, and it's translated it into French, for example. And guess what? You can also do that with the audio as well.
Placez les villes suivantes afin de population.
Okay. Now I'm going to answer the actual questions. Okay. Submit. I can see then as a teacher, I can see the students answering. I'm going to answer this real quick. And then I can see the questions that I answered, and then I can submit. And I should be able to get a result. So I got 80%. As a teacher, I can see that this student has done pretty well, and it would show up. It would show all of the answers and all of the students, but at the student's pace. So this is a really, really nice tool. Another thing that is also pretty nice is the Infuse link. This allows you to actually share a link with the students' devices. and all the students would have to do is to then click on that link and it would take them to the particular website. So this is a really cool tool. You can take a look at the preferences. I highly recommend using this free tool.